Hi everyone, just a quick little tutorial on these round metal tags. I've had these for a really long time and, didn't really know what I wanted to do with them. And I thought that I would make sort of a hangy thing. Now, I'm going to use it as the top, kind of the thing that hangs out of a bookmark. This one didn't turn out properly because I did not use water proof ink around the edge, and so it bled. I'm not thrilled with the way that one turned out, but I wanted to show you what not to do as well as what to do. And so we'll just play. This is the one that I made. Now, my idea was to put it in a bookmark and have it hanging, and it will hang over the spine of the book. So, depending on where you want to put it, yeah, you can make it longer or shorter or whatever. I just wanted to show you how thick that book is, and I'm not even done. So it's going to be thick. So this is what I did, is I put it on a bookmark. I reinforced the bookmark. I covered it in embossing powder. It's not completely covered, but I like that distressed look. The back has way more, but yeah. I like the way this turned out. So this one was done with the waterproof. I'll telephoto in so you can see that better. So I've just done around the edge of the face and the flower, but I also used my Copic marker to color up the silver, because I don't like silver. And then I used the permanent ink, which is the VersaFine. And what did I do with it? There's the dauber. Where's the ink? Oh, right beside me. There it is. Okay. So we have everything we need. You decide what you want to put on there. You can do anything you want, right? I mean, you can put little scraps of lace on both sides, so then it doesn't matter which side flips around. I wanted to do some ladies, and I had done this from another kit. I think it's a vintage stuff kit, and it's the, what do they call that? Oh dear, it's just not coming to me. Film strip. So there's three women. So this is one of them. This is the other, and then the one that I did here. So there's three on this film strip. So I just cut them up and use them on the tag, and I think that's cute. But I thought I would show you how I did it. So let's get started. I just have this here for glare purposes, so I'm going to work on this side here. That way I'm sure to keep you in frame. It helps. I'm just going to ink up my little tag. Yeah, kind of layering little bits and pieces of ribbon and lace. That would be pretty too. And then it's pretty generic. You can use it on anything you want. But like I said, I have these little ladies, and I'm still working on graceful women. And I thought it would be cute. I've been adding bookmarks to all of my books lately. So I thought this would be kind of neat. Instead of using the tassel, I'd use the tassel a couple of times. So let's see, which one do I want to use? I think I'll use the fine point tip. Now, what I do is color the one side. Now, you can use Sharpies. If you don't have, your Copics or any other alcohol ink pen, that's basically what Sharpies are. So I did, for the first one, I used the Sharpie. I used the black. But I thought it was a little bit dark, so I thought I would go with more of the brown. Now, it doesn't dry immediately, so I'm going to heat set it. And just be careful if you're holding this in your hand. I mean, I move it really fast, but if you're holding it in your hand, that metal gets hot. So I just do a quick heat set, and it'll probably smear a little bit. I go over it a couple times. So I heat set the once, and then I'll turn it over and do this side. Oh. And then heat set that, and then flip it back. It really depends on how dark you want it. But like I say, Sharpie works great. I want to say, personally, I thought it worked better. But I can't find anything but black in the wide tip Sharpie. I only have the little narrow ones in all the different colors. So yeah, that doesn't really cover great for me. And a lot of this rim will be covered anyways. Yeah, just be careful when you're flipping it, because that's going to be hot. And I'll just do this side again. It's kind of weird to be working so far away from me, but I'll manage. Okay, that's good enough for now. A lot of it will be covered up. So then the next thing I want is, I'm going to use my Pitt pen. This is also a waterproof. But it will move if you smudge it right away. It will move. The reason I'm using this is if I use Copic on this paper, because it's a photo paper, it just sucks it right in, and then it spreads a little too thick. This has a nice paintbrush tip as well. I really prefer the paintbrush tips. I'm not exactly sure how far down I'm going to need this to be covered, but yeah, we'll do what we need to do here. Sorry, this is a little bit like watching paint dry, but okay, that's good enough for now. So then what I do is I position it where I want it, where I think I might like it. I believe I'm going to use this flower. I think that'll look kind of nice. Yeah. So you want to center, like put this at the very top, because that's what will be hanging straight down. And then position your whatever you're doing where you want it. And in this case, I'm going to just flip it over, hold it down firmly, and take a pencil and just mark, draw around the edge. Now see, I'm not going to cut her head off. She's going to stick up. So I'll want to cover it in ink so that it doesn't look white. All right, and then this is the one I want to cut. I thought I was going to do it in a different spot when I was looking at it the first time, but nope. And then you're going to cut on the inside of that pencil line because you've traced on the outside of your tag. Okay. Yeah, perfect. So now I will finish off that edge. These are really quick to make, although the drying time takes a while. So now we're going to position her there, and I need to ink this up a little bit. Really hate all those little white edges showing. And these little flowers are very hard to ink up. So many little grooves. And that's the reason I work back to front, so you don't accidentally slip and put a mark across the front. See, on the back I slipped here, but it doesn't show on the front, right? So if I'd had it turned the other way, it would have. Okay, now I want to put this here, I think. And do I want a little bit? I think I might do a little bit of cheesecloth. Let's grab my cheesecloth here. Just a wee bit. This has already been tea stained. Yeah, that just adds a little something. You can do fibers if you want. I think I have some fibers as well. Yeah, I do. Let's just take a tiny bit off here. A little goes a long way when it comes to these eyelash trims and stuff. You don't need a bunch. You just want to make sure that your hole isn't completely covered, or you're not going to get your string through it. So something like that. I'll likely cut some of this down once it's glued. I don't really want it in a circle. I don't like that look. I might do a little here and then cut some of that out there, but I'll worry about that later. So let's just glue this down with a bit of Aleene's. I really don't want it sticking up everywhere. I really, really don't. Ugh, stuff goes everywhere. Okay, and then this doesn't need much for it to stick. I'm going to be adding a bunch of glue with the lady. So I won't glue on the ink part because it'll just won't be sticking to anything anyway. Before I do that, not sure what will be hanging down. Let's see. So I'll just put a bit of ink on the back here. that a good pressing. Yeah, see some of this I don't want. Let's see. Looks like giving it a haircut. Clearly, I'm not a hairdresser. Okay, that's good enough. I'm going to move this. All right, so we have that, and you're in frame. Then I use diamond glaze. I prefer it to glossy accents. It is thinner, I think, but I really like the tip better than the glossy accents. They both work the same, really. But I don't know, I'm better at this one. And all you're going to do is fill it in. And I use quite a bit because you have different levels here. So all of this will be underneath glue. You're kind of making a cabochon. You want to make sure you're pretty generous. Push out your any bubbles you might get. When you're done, you can go over it and check and use a straight pin to get any bubbles out. I try and do it as I go, just push them to the edge. This is the tricky part because you don't have much to hang on to. So if after this is all dry and you really like it but you want to put something on the back, then that's the time to do it. And then it doesn't matter which way it flips. You could just put a single flower on the back side if you wanted. I just want to build it up in the center a bit because it is dipped down in there. Okay, so that will dry. It takes, well, your best overnight, obviously, but I did this one that I showed you. When did I do it? What time is it? It's 1:20. I want to say I did it about 8 o'clock this morning, maybe 9 o'clock this morning. So, and it feels completely dry, but again, it really depends on how much glue you end up putting down. This does seep, so I'm just going back and filling in the dips. I know it seems like I'm using a lot, but it you know, not a lot comes out when you're doing it, so it's not as much as you might think. Okay, so there's a little bubble, so I'm just going to push it over to the edge if I can. Come on, you little stinker. There we go. Okay, so I think I'll leave it at that and let that dry. Just make sure you wipe your tip off And then I put my needle in a couple of times, or bang your glue down, and then put your top on. And I usually have no issues, although I see a bubble now. There we go. Okay. So when you've done that and it's all dry, this is just embroidery floss that I've used. Obviously you can use whatever you want, twine or whatever. I just hook it around, you know, like create your little, let me pull it apart, hang on. So you just create your loop, okay? Put the loop through the hole. Open it up and thread the other part through. So you have that. And then this one, you put it through the top and then loop this through. Like so. Just like that. I hope I was on camera that whole time. I wasn't looking up. Oh boy. I don't know. I hope I was. But anyway, there you go. So, you know, if you wanted, you could put something else on the back, so it didn't matter which way it flipped. I might just put a single flower on the back of this one, and then it doesn't really matter which way it's turned. So that's it. It's pretty easy. A little time consuming in the dry time for this, obviously. But other than that, they're pretty quick to put together. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Give me a thumbs up if you did. And don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell so that you get notifications when I put up a new video. Thanks for watching, you guys. Bye.